The coronavirus struck end of February, and suddenly we saw these gradual shifts and changes in our environment, first starting with schools and universities who had to close, and they had to immediately transfer their teachings online. And this was a complete shift for students who are now being taught through web-based systems, being coached by their parents. And then this was followed by offices, factories and other establishments being closed down for a period of time, and employees having to adapt to this new environment, working from home. If they were in a cafe, maybe they were just doing takeaways and not deliveries anymore. So suddenly all these dramatical shifts in our operating procedures. So you might already have some company procedures in place, and maybe you have an ISO 9001 certificate. But how are you changing and adapting those procedures now to cope with this new way of life that we have and this new way of operating our businesses? So let's take, for example, if we're working from home, how are you ensuring that all of your employees are working in a consistent manner? You may have seen many videos on social media and on the news where people are on web calls and their husband or wife has walked past behind them half naked grabbing a coffee, and we've seen on the news channels where children have come into the calls, people are half dressed, people haven't bothered getting ready.
Democracies respond to those scandals.
And what will it mean for the wider region? I think one of your children's just walked in.
And now there seems to be a trend, if you don't want to get ready and shower and get ready for work in the morning, you'll just switch the camera off and everything will be okay. And this might be acceptable for some organisations, but how are you ensuring, what steps have you taken already to put a process and procedure in place to ensure that all your employees are working in the way that you expect them to work? You don't want your standards to start slipping. You don't want the professionalism of your organisation slipping, with clients having meetings with people looking scruffy like they've just rolled out of bed. Maybe that works for some of the organisations, but if you're trying to convey a certain image or a certain way of working, then you don't want this to happen to you. You also might like to document which online message you might use. Is it Zoom? Is it Skype? Is it TeamViewer? Which technology are you going to use? Does everyone have to use the same technology? How will you record the meetings? Do you have to record the meetings? Do you have to send minutes? If employees have specified hours, what hours are they working? How do you ensure that during those hours they are available when you need them, that they're not out shopping, and that they are actually doing the work that you need during that time? Now, it might be that they work through the night instead of the day, but that's something that you need to work out amongst yourself. What's acceptable to your organisation in terms of timekeeping? What's the parameters that your employees have to work to? All of these considerations need to be thought about with this change. And another one, if you're on site, you might need to have your Covid-19 plan in place. How are you going to manage those sites going forward? What PPE do people have to wear with the masks? When do they have to get the temperatures checked? Do they have to have a COVID test result? How are you managing all of this? How will you quarantine someone if you find that someone's got COVID-19 on the site? All of this is a new way of working, and we need to adapt our processes and procedures to cope with this. So please have a think about this today. I think it's really important that your organisations start to consider these changes, because they're going to be with us for some time now. This is the new way of working, and we need to make sure that our processes and procedures adapt to that. So if you need help implementing processes and procedures in your organisation, please contact us at qualitas.com. Alternatively, leave your contact details down in the thread below and we'll get right back to you. Please don't forget to follow us on our social media channels, LinkedIn, Instagram and Facebook. Thanks for watching.